Your great and so on grandfather, who was a monkey, had much stronger and healthier shoulders than you, no posture problems, was maybe also generally more content with life. But about the posture and shoulder thing, maybe you can fix that by doing just one ancient, primal, simple movement. Hanging. During my workout experiment, I recently started experiencing some shoulder pain and I started looking for solutions. And I came across something that sounded almost too good to be true. I got this idea from, do you know Ido Portal? He's this movement trainer. Apparently he has a challenge where he tells people spend 7 minutes a day hanging for 30 days. And it fixes all kinds of stuff. According to John M Kirsch, who literally wrote the book on shoulder pain, as little as 90 seconds of hanging per day can fix most, if not all, shoulder pain issues.
Because it opens up your lats, so you're stretching these muscles, and it also decompresses your spine. Yeah, remember, I hurt my shoulder, and this is what I did every day to fix it.
And looking into this, I saw more and more examples of this where people saying, hey, just spending time in a hanging position is so good for your posture, it's good for your spine health, it's good for this and that. And whenever I encounter something like that, a simple thing that can maybe make a profound difference, I just have to try it for myself. And while I'm at it, I also like to drag some other people into it. So we did this experiment on the team where we tried to hang every day for 7 minutes. Now, just to be clear, that's not 7 minutes in one go. That would be very difficult to do. And in fact, we did a quick test to see how long we could each hang in one go. So right now, let's just each do, hang as long as possible, time it. And then we do this for like 3 weeks or something every day, and then we time it again to see if we've gotten strong.
All right, let's do it.
Who wants to go first? This is the good stuff.
All right, P90X, Ab Ripper X.
Go for it, yeah.
Just hanging is a lot harder than it looks. What happens is, as you're hanging, you get exponentially more uncomfortable. The first 30 seconds or so are fine, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse.
2 minutes, holy shit, you did it.
Good time.
So, it's already unpleasant.
Just right. I think it helps to relax your grip.
Depending on where your weak spot is, maybe it's your muscle strength that makes you fail, but in many cases it's also just discomfort and pain in your hands where you just can't keep holding through the pain anymore.
Fucking horrible.
Dude.
Time to beat.
I was surprised that we managed to go for as long as we did, and I do think that the competition helped with that. I don't know if you just time yourself, it's like no one there to egg you on. I think it's even harder to keep going.
I won, and I'm the greatest. Ryan, unfortunately, went first, and I think going first is the hardest. Ryan went in and just passed 2 minutes. Shane was able to go almost a full minute longer, and somehow I was able to go like 10 seconds longer than Shane.
I don't know if 3 minutes is objectively a long or a short time to hang, but I also don't think it matters. You test your strength here, that gives you a baseline, and you try to improve from there.
So after this test, for the next 3 weeks, we would spend 7 minutes in total spread throughout the day, hanging every single day.
To do the daily hanging, you just break it up for sessions in between work, before and after lunch, that kind of thing. So I'll just go to the pull-up bar, get out my phone, start a timer, and then hang for maybe 30 seconds, a minute, and pause the timer every time I stop. And I just keep doing that in small sessions during the day until I have a total of 7 minutes.
Stop calling it easy, bro. It's like 40 seconds. Some benefits to hanging are really immediately noticeable. If you haven't done it in a while, give it a try, and you might feel that it kind of opens up your posture a bit. And I think that even if you don't suffer shoulder pain, this is probably worth doing. If you think about where we come from, we probably would have spent more time climbing things, hanging from things, and basically having this kind of extension, right? I'm sure it comes to no surprise when I say that most of us have bad posture these days. Most of us have postural issues. And in a way, hanging is the opposite of the kind of posture we find ourselves in all day. So hanging in a way counters the position we spend too much time in, and therefore it makes sense that it would be good as a posture correction exercise. I have a convenient pull-up bar at home, so it's fairly easy for me to do this every day. If you don't have a pull-up bar, you have to get a little creative.
Okay, so I have a morning mission. I don't have access to the hanging bar at the Icario office. I'm basically gonna explore this neighborhood and try to find some bar that I can hang on for 7 minutes. It's not totally suspended, so I don't know. There, and an apartment there, but where's the hanging bar? Crossing the street here. A dog park, children's park, but there's no bars for hanging. I'm gonna call that a failed experiment. Haven't been able to find a bar I can improvise on.
I teamed up with Tim for another attempt at the park to find hanging opportunities.
Is this gonna hold me, you reckon?
If it doesn't, you'll be just fine. I mean, it'll be funny.
Yeah. I'm already close to giving up.
How was that?
Slightly painful.
So it turns out if you're open-minded in a park like this, you can actually find many things to hang off of.
I can't get anywhere.
It's also an interesting experience and adventure to see the different experiences, like, can I get there? What is it like to hang off of a square thing, a big round thing, whatever. So it's an interesting experience too.
For me, it was like constantly, slipping. I was
Pretty good.
But now I'm like going like this. It's like sideways monkey bars.
Yeah. Many of our attempts were really not successful. You might find some tree you can hang off of, but it's too awkward or too painful. So you gotta keep looking.
You're barely off the ground, so that makes it even funnier.
Is that better?
This is easy mode, yeah.
Really?
But in the end, we found several objects that could be suitable for daily hanging practice.
This is the state of my hands right now. Not good. So we've hung off of pretty much everything that's hang-offable in this park, and I think it's very different, isn't it? Especially like the sideways monkey bars on an actual branch.
Yeah.
It's a totally different set of muscles. I feel like you could be very good at hanging off of a pull-up bar and be completely rubbish at that,
If you train on this type of organic hanging branches and stuff, if you train here, you're gonna crush the guy who's training on a bar, because this is just
like
it's
that,
way more brutal.
Yeah.
This does seem like a worthwhile exercise because it really is a different kind of experience, hanging off of branches that are uneven, having to hang with different holds and so on. I think this probably adds even more. And if you think about it, if hanging and moving with your arms through branches, if that's like the primal movement that we've lost, if that's the reason our shoulders are fragile, then just hanging on a static pull-up bar is probably not the best solution. If you want to get like the full dose of the primal movement, then hanging on uneven branches is probably the way to do it. Also, to make it less boring and add a bit of challenge, you can add a lot of variation to your hanging. You can do regular hanging, you can do active and passive hanging, where you contract your scapula, basically suppress your shoulders while you're hanging. You can do L-sit hangs, you can do one-handed hangs, you can throw in some core work while you're hanging, you can do weighted one-arm L-sit hangs. Basically, the sky's the limit. It's time to step up the challenge of the hanging. What we should do today is let's do a one-arm hang challenge. The good thing is it doesn't take as long. So you hang on one arm as long as you can, then you switch to the other, hang on that as long as you can.
Can you touch the ground?
And in between, yeah. All right, go. So if you ever want to feel really weak and pathetic, see how long you can hang off of just one hand.
Any advice for future hangers?
Oh man, it's not good, I don't know. I don't recommend it. Okay, that's it. That is really a lot harder than it looks. And it's a lot harder than it's made to look in Hollywood movies where a guy's like hanging off a helicopter and holding on to someone else. Good luck. Get to the chopper! After this, no more shenanigans. It was just another week of 7 minutes of hanging per day to prepare for the final test. Maybe this is cheating, right? But I think I need to get as much recovery as I can. So I'm going to be using this here on my forearms. Feels good. It feels good. Does it do anything for recovery? I guess it should, right? But I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can feel it.
After 3 weeks of doing this challenge, I wanted to find out two things. Number one, did it make us stronger? And number two, did we notice any difference in terms of posture and shoulder health? So after the 3 weeks of daily hanging, we took 2 rest days and then did another test.
There's basically no way I'm gonna lose this challenge.
Yeah, you really are not very good at being cocky, I have to say.
Think of like sharp cactuses or something. Go. 250.
Felt like the worst one so far.
59. Boom! 2 minutes! Gonna lay the smack down on my old time.
1 minute, 2 minutes, 8, 9, 10 minutes. Call that 3 minutes. It turns out no matter how hard we tried, we couldn't even beat our previous own times. And also Tim won again, which is just lame.
So we didn't get stronger, which is a little disappointing. Although I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. If you primarily wanted to increase your strength, then probably training every other day, so 1 training day, 1 rest day, 1 training day, and so on. And adding some kind of progressive overload like weighted hangs with increasing weights, that would probably be a better way to get stronger. I mean, that's usually how you get stronger, but still, I was a little disappointed. But what about the shoulder health and mobility issue?
Getting strong, better at hanging wasn't the main purpose. There's these health benefits supposedly. Have you guys noticed anything in that?
Normally I have like a click in my shoulder somewhere. Currently I don't have a click at all. So I don't know if that's from lifting weights, being at the gym, or from hanging, but there is definitely an improvement in my shoulder.
Like, I feel generally good, my posture feels good, and it feels good when you do it. This is something I would have actually already kind of done, but just not as much. So now just doing it a lot more.
Something was going on in my shoulder, and I noticed it with presses, right? Where it's like something would feel like it's, you know, jumping in and out of place. And that basically, it didn't go fully away, but it's like 90% better. You know, I can feel it a little bit, but before it was really a problem when I was pushing. And now it feels fine. And I attribute that fully to the hanging, because what I was doing before, I was like stretching and foam rolling and so on. But it was only with all this hanging that now it feels good.
So for me, I definitely noticed a very clear difference before and after. And hanging is something I now always do when I start to feel a bit stiff or when I've spent too much time at my desk. It gives me some instant relief, but also in the long term, it has helped my shoulder a lot.
After 3 weeks, we could confirm that there really is something to all of these claims about just how good of an exercise simply hanging is. One thing that made me realize how great it is that right after this challenge, I was traveling for 2 weeks and I missed my daily hanging so much. It just makes my body, my posture, my spine feel so much better and lighter and more open when I can do this. I really wouldn't want to live without it anymore. So in conclusion, for me, this is like a 10 out of 10 recommendation. Yes, it's a bit disappointing that we didn't get stronger, but the benefits of hanging really are impressive. And no matter who you are, I recommend you give this a try. You might be surprised at how much better it makes you feel. And like I said in the beginning, I just love things like this. It's so small, it's so simple, it takes only a few minutes a day, but it's a real life upgrade. So if you're going to give this a try and do the same 7 minutes a day for 3 weeks experiment, let me know by leaving a comment below. And also, do you have any other favorite primal movement, any other simple exercise that has made a big difference for you? I'd love to know about it, so leave me a comment and tell me about it below. And if you want to find out why movement and movement skills are so important that I even have my team do this kind of stuff on paid time, check out this video and you'll discover a few things that I bet you didn't know.